Lost is on.
Welcome back, everybody, to Offslate Media. This is Bite-Sized Media, a subsidiary of Offslate Media. I realized I just talked in a circle. We are going to get lost today, a little bit more lost than that sentence just was. We were continuing our journey. We're watching Lost again because it's good, right?
We think.
Maybe. Today, we're watching Confidence Man, which it sounds to me like a Sawyer-centric episode, which means...
Which means it's time for some conning.
Some long conning.
Okay. That's all I remember about his backstory is he's a con man. And then I think someone who he's conning cons him, and that's how he ended up in his situation in Sydney somehow. I don't know how it all...
Yeah, I was going to say, I forgot to mention it last week. For some reason, I always think that the flight is from Los Angeles to Sydney, but it's the other way around, right?
Yes.
It's
from Sydney to Los Angeles.
Yep, they all started in Australia.
Okay.
So every single time we do why were they on that flight? It's always like, okay, all these people who, except for Claire, who are clearly not Australian, have to have a reason to be going to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Which from Australia.
Yeah, which that's everyone every day who takes a flight. It's like, yeah, they're not from this place necessarily. But it's just funny. It's like in the show, we have to keep coming up with reasons that aren't the same.
Yeah.
Because no one can just be on a business trip. It has to be, my dad died. Oh, I was a fugitive of the law. That's
all the people that were on business trips died because they're not interesting. Duh.
Yeah, like Scott or whatever last week.
Steve.
Hey, you Scott. I'm Steve. I'm Scott. And it's like, yep.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that in the... this is going to be funny. The second SpongeBob movie, they walk up and see something, and then they go, what's that? And one of the characters... like the random Bikini Bottom residents goes, okay, all secondary characters follow me. And they all leave. One of the better parts of that movie. But it just reminds me of like, yeah, there's all these other people there. Because what they say, there's like 70 people or whatever, 60 people. It was something like that.
Something like that.
It was anywhere from 40 to 70.
Yeah.
But we know like 15. Because they're the only ones that matter, apparently.
Anybody with a cool backstory.
Or a dog. So
I like dogs.
I know that your favorite character in the show is Vincent.
That's fair. Still true.
Yep. Well, that's all I remember about Confidence Man.
Yeah, I vaguely, if it's the right episode, remember a gas station and a girl.
Do you know what's
a ring?
Do you know what's really annoying me about this menu that we're looking at? I know it's intentional and I know it's meant to be cool, but the way that the cockpit kind of cuts off the words.
Yeah.
It annoys me for some reason.
Well, it's intentional and cool.
I know. Shut up.
It's edgy and hip.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the least edgy, least hip person in America.
Darn tootin'. Let's watch the episode.
All right. Are you all ready to get lost?
Yeah.
Let's get lost. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We just watched Confidence Man.
Yes.
Let me just start off by saying, like, sometimes you watch these types of things, and I know it's a TV thing, but you watch it and you just go, that is the most obvious, like, this was intent, like, he meant for me to see that. Like, I understand it's TV. I understand in the real world, let's call them chemicals at this point in time, are flooding people's brains and all that. But I just don't. That seems so obvious to me that it's a con from the start.
Oh. Gotcha.
He literally grabs a briefcase and it falls open with money, like it's just up there, like it's just up there unclasped, like he was carrying it around.
Yeah.
But for the sake of plot.
Yep, and it's also like he really just asked you to spend all this money and give it to him in cash, and he just walks away. Okay. I thought there was more to it. Like I said, I thought there was something with like a woman that conned him back. But I don't think we don't have the connecting piece of why he was on that flight, because that's probably later. I'm looking at episode 16 is the Sawyer episode, so that's probably when we get that. And we're also it's revealed his name's not even Sawyer.
Right.
He didn't
probably
mention
like
what
Jim.
his actual name is.
Probably like Jim or some stupidness.
Isn't it like John?
Does it matter?
It's like John Plushbottom or something.
I don't know that that's right, but yeah. It is not Sawyer.
And the whole thing about, you called it like Sawyer wrote
It is
the letter.
John.
Like,
It is John. Because not because I looked it up, because Kate calls him John. No, it's James.
James.
Oh.
It's
James. That's right.
It's
Yep.
James.
Because Kate starts calling him James, but she's like the only one that does it.
Yeah.
Is that before or after they sleep together in season 3?
I have no idea, man.
That was all the rage, I bet, when that episode was coming up. When everyone was like, it's finally happening. They're having sex in the jungle. Not to jump ahead.
Welcome to the jungle.
That is about L.A., which is where they were headed.
That's fair.
Huh.
So, yeah, and Aaron, you of course have seen this multiple times, so of course you're going to remember stuff before I will.
Yeah.
You know what my dad told me the other day?
What?
He told me he watched all of Lost like 2 months ago.
2 months ago?
What?
Like all of it. He has all the DVDs too, and it's also on Hulu. And if it was 2 months ago, was around the start of the holiday season, so there's nothing on TV for him to watch. And he's just like, yeah, I just brought it up. I watched it all. I was like, well, what did you think? He's like, it's still good. Still kind of stupid, but still good.
I can hear him saying it.
Right.
I was going to say for you, Aaron, when you mentioned the fingernail thing. You go, wait, is this the fingernail thing? And I was like, I forgot about the fingernail thing.
Wait. I have a comparison I need you to make. How is his scream during the fingernail thing / getting stabbed in the arm? How is that scream versus a Chris Hemsworth scream?
Oh, his is better because his is like right, whereas Chris Hemsworth's just There's a big difference. Because all of Chris Hemsworth's screams like that are like the same. Whereas Sawyer actually had different... I say Sawyer.
Yeah.
What is it? Josh Holloway's screams are all like actually like a real person screaming and not the God of Thunder.
Yeah.
The God of Thunder.
So, it was... you brought it up when we were watching. Like, that is a good yell. I go, yeah, see? There's an art to the yell. There's an art to the scream. Because there's a very thin line between good and then bad / goofy / just annoying.
Right.
Like, it's very thin. And some people are not good at yelling. Like Jennifer Lawrence, as we talked about on our favorite last year. Like, cannot scream in her movie. It's just, it's awful.
Okay, but are you talking about that one scene in Silver Linings?
No, there's another scene in American Hustle where Christian Bale is acting his butt off, yelling at her, and she's yelling back, and it's like, this is like a 5-year-old is arguing with his parent.
Okay, I'm going to be fair with you. I do what I can to forget that movie. I don't like it.
You see what I mean? She just the screaming. It's just annoying, but you tweak it a little, and there's a good chance it's not annoying.
Yeah.
And there are other actors too that it's like, yeah, they can't yell, but Josh Holloway can yell.
In the countless amount of times I've seen Silver Linings Playbooks before we talked about it for this podcast, that never once took me out of it. He talked about it once for this podcast. I hadn't even watched it yet, and now I've seen it like twice since. And see what you do to people?
I'm just very influential, apparently. But yes, good yell. We don't see it, and that's not only because it's network television for the finger thing that we can't show, but still, like, the sound.
Yeah.
I am very surprised that they full-on did that
They full on tortured him.
Yeah, like full on did that with an Iraqi or wherever he's from.
Yep.
Because of the time frame it came out in. Now, yes. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh no. Realness, but
yes, I mean,
it's
2004, and the whole thing's about a plane crash.
Yeah,
that's also a factor in that.
But then also, like, we're not doing any favors for anyone's bias by showing him actually like doing this. But then I guess you kind of get like,
at the same time, he's one of the more stand-up characters.
Yeah. I guess in what you say, I forget what movie you say it about. It doesn't push hard enough in the opposite way once you see him do it in that episode. I feel like they should have done that in like a Saeed centric episode where they could have pushed against it.
But that's next.
Yes. So I'm not really sure why it had to be.
It's the reason why he leaves. He needs a reason to leave them for his next episode, which is called Solitary. So it's like there's got to be a reason he leaves, and the reason is he broke a promise to himself to not go that far.
Yeah.
So we'll see next week how that factors in. Again, that's the thing with going week to week or episode to episode. It's just you don't have the full picture. Even though we've all seen it, I don't remember everything that happens in this next episode. That's most episodes. I'm going into this like, okay, and then it trickles in. Just like you figuring out the letter and the fingernails. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, it slowly comes back to us. But there's still probably half of the show I don't remember.
It is funny the different pace at which it comes back to each of us.
Yep.
Like usually it's like Aaron will say something really, oh yeah, and then you'll say something we'll be like, oh yeah, and then I'll say something about, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I reacted more to Sawyer's kiss grunt, we'll call it that, than the actual finger. Because I was like shaking my hands, go, ugh. But then when Sawyer, they start kissing, and he goes, ugh. I go, bleh.
Jared is uncomfortable with physical affection.
Yes. Or
which is funny because
specifically the sounds. Because when for a show like this, they have a microphone right there, and that thing in the mix is cranked, so you hear every little.
Yep.
And I hate it. Yep. Mm-hmm. So you're hearing that, and I'm like, okay, and then you hear, and it's like, didn't need to hear Sawyer grunt like that.
Yet the movement of his tongue into her mouth, which we could see on camera,
which
was
I looked
fine.
Away, I was too busy going, ugh, from that grunt. I brought it up, but I should stop talking about it because I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
He's such a slimy dude. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking throughout the episode because like the whole, he wasn't withholding anything because he didn't have it. But it's like, poor Shannon. I can't believe I'm saying that. But as someone who also
Sharon?
Sharon. As someone who also has a form of asthma and she's wheezing, I go, yeah, I relate to that. Yeah, I can't remember if Sawyer does or doesn't have it. I think in the back of my mind I was like, I don't think he does, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
I was like, I might have to change my favorite character because you withholding inhalers, like, that's not okay. And then it's, he didn't even have them. I go, okay, you could still be my favorite character.
We still don't know yet if anyone does have them,
That's
right?
true. Because she just got that plant rubbed on her chest, and then that look she gives Boone, and I go, wait, weren't they...
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that.
What?
Her and Boone, before the events of this show, were involved because they're not blood-related. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do now.
Yep. Because she gave him that look, and I go... Oh, that's right. Uh-huh. I forgot about that, and that's probably going to be the Boone episode coming up in a couple weeks
or something.
13. It's got to be that one. I can't see it not being that one. There aren't many Boone episodes. There's one Boone episode.
Yeah.
So that's got to be that one. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other things. The peanut butter thing.
Yeah,
was adorable, yes, but also, as I said, I'd want actual peanut butter.
Oh, man.
I'd be like, oh, it's so, I hate to say cutesy. I want peanut butter.
It's
What's
that-
this?
yeah.
This is empty. Give me food. I'd be yelling at him.
Peanut butter's the best.
Okay.
Peanut butter is good. Okay, what?
But it's cute.
I'm on an
It's
island
cute.
and I want peanut
It's-
butter and I'm pregnant. Get me my dang peanut butter.
But it's cute. I can't get over it. It's cute.
Tricking
Charlie's
pregnant
cute.
women.
That's not what he did.
Tricking pregnant.
That's not what he did.
I mean, he kind of just started packing up her stuff, said, here's this empty jar, let's go. I didn't fulfill what I promised, but we're going anyway. I know that's not the right way to explain that, but kind of is what happened. I know it's more of, she realized, okay, I should go because he cares about
I was
me.
I was gonna say, like, he did not make her go.
Nope. But I would say, where's my peanut butter? That's not peanut butter. I'll go, but where's the peanut butter?
Now, it would be really scummy if he said, I left it at the cave.
Well, yeah. I mean, he did kind of call Hurley fat and went to him to say, like, oh, where's the food?
That was funny, though.
Yeah. But also it's
And I can say that as a fat man.
I can say it too. You can't.
There's like, what can I say? What can I say?
You're welcome.
For not being a fat man.
Where is the first Hurley episode? It's 18. That's how far. I know that because I'm looking at the name of the episode. It's like, I remember what happens in that episode.
What is that one called?
Why is it? It's numbers.
Yeah, okay.
But it's like, man, that's so much later than I thought. That's the other thing. The order of these flashback episodes is throwing me.
I was thinking about that. Like, what do you think it was like in that writer's room where they're just like, okay, we're going to tell Jack, Kate, Jack, Sawyer, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah.
I wonder what determined that order.
I know. It's like, again, to see like their chalkboards or bulletin boards and the show Bible, like to see like how everything is set up. It's like, it's all got to fit. And that's why, because you have over 20 episodes a season and then more characters and locations and things get introduced, there's going to be a lot of stupid contrived stuff and there's going to be filler. And as much as it does hurt it, that's how TV functioned in 2004.
I think this one functions better as it, though, because you can do vignettes of everybody's past. And you have like basically an infinite amount of characters to work with because, as we say, they could someone new could show up and they could tell me it was a main character, and I would not be able to say no.
Yep. It comes down to, I wonder how successful it will be into season 3, because that's the big extent of the flashbacks, because 4 is different. At a certain point, it's like, because it's got to be each episode, the flashback ties into the main story somehow. And how much it ties in will probably differ. Because like the Charlie thing, that's hand in hand. The Sawyer thing, hand in hand. It's like, we're probably going to hit somewhere. It's like, this is important for flashback context. It's not really having anything to do with what's going on the island.
I think Hurley probably does that. Although, I don't know. He's a pretty main character sometimes.
Yeah, and this is like the setup of something that will be important at the end of the season and all of season 2. So there's that, too.
I guess it kind of depends on what happens. Clearly I don't remember the order because they're like, you were saying, oh yeah, here's where we meet. What'd you say her name was?
I can't say her name on the podcast right now. We're too early.
I don't care. It's next episode.
Maybe. I could be wrong. Russo.
No, because I remember that happening. I just don't remember it happening what feels like this soon.
Yeah.
But
I could be wrong.
But at this point, in watching it week to week, we are watching it week to week. What am I talking about? This point in watching it as it airs, you're 9, 10, 11 episodes in. I mean, you've been watching it for the better part of 3 months. That is a long time.
Yeah.
Wow. And we're only a third of the way through the season.
Yeah.
And like back to like the Hurley thing, I thought being way sooner.
Yeah.
We still have episodes for Saeed, Claire, another Jack, another Kate, Boone, Michael and Walt, another Charlie, another Sawyer, and Jin before we get to Hurley.
Yeah.
We have all that
Yeah.
coming up. And then I think after Hurley, there's 4 episodes before the finale multi-parter. So it's like...
Is that a 3-parter?
It is.
And those are multiple characters. Flashbacks, kind of.
Which, that's a really smart way to do it.
Yeah.
And I think they hold to that in the next 2 seasons. So, that's all I got to say about Confidence Man. Again, the wrong episode again of what I thought his backstory would be. I forgot all about the letter and whatnot.
Yeah.
Anything to add, anyone else?
No, I don't think so.
All right. So next, what do we got next?
The next episode is, as stated, is Solitary, and that's Saeed's first
All right.
episode.
So come on back next week if you want to explore. Come on back next week if you want to explore.
Come back next week.
Come back next week if you want to explore some more of Saeed's backstory. Until then, where can they check us out, Jared?
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, The Funny TikTok, and X.
Formerly known as Twitter. Actually, you know what? Still known as Twitter.
Yeah. Take that. And you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and hey, if it's YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, ring our notification bell for all those new videos, and make like us and rate us on all those apps, and check out our groovy website.
Which has been updated since, 2021.
Just do the outro.
And with that, let's get lost.